Bitcoin just dropped over 50% in a matter of basically 24 hours. I'm buying, people. I'm buying hand over fist. Bitcoin, Litecoin, other coins, all kinds of coins. I'm buying it because it seems like a really good deal. A 50% drop in 24 hours. Even if we don't ever go back to the moon, I'm still expecting some type of dead cat bounce thing or some type of bounce, or I don't know, maybe I'm just a gambler, but I've been right before. So I'm buying Bitcoin. I want to talk about why I believe this is a opportunity and what I'm looking at and all of that fun stuff right here in this video. What's going on, guys? So today we're talking about Bitcoin, and most people have heard that the market has crashed and the stock market is crashing. Well, yesterday, out of nowhere, really, Bitcoin just dropped from 8,000 down to 4,000, 4,500 in one day. And then the low basically last night was down there below $4,000. So it's been pandemonium. It's like the whole entire world is in it. You got the stock market crashing. You've got, other stuff spreading around the world. I can't talk about on YouTube because they'll ban me. But there's stuff going on everywhere. Bitcoin's crashing. Everything's crashing. What's really going on here? Now, one thing I've talked about this on Twitter and all that, and people, they'll say, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist and blah, blah, blah. But I believe 100%, wholeheartedly, deep in my soul, that nothing happens on this planet because of a coincidence. Obviously, there's accidents, people die, things like that. But in terms of the markets, the overall economy, wars and battles and all that type of stuff, everything happens because somebody wanted it to happen for a financial purpose. We go to war for finances. We, end up having issues with one of our allies for finances. The stock market crashes for financial gain. Things like that. There's always these calculated setups and opportunities that are constantly happening, and the reason these things are happening is because somebody out there is benefiting from these things. It's like the stock market. The stock market went to an all-time high, and then, a week later, crashed down 20%? You think that was a coincidence? You think that the smartest people in the world were buying at the top and they were saying, oh, this is a great idea, let's buy. You think that was really happening here? No, it wasn't. So let's talk about what's the overall idea here with Bitcoin. Now, this move from 8,000 down to 4,000, there's no real technical reason for this to happen. Someone's going to say, yeah, but the chart, it was on the chart. This was going to happen on the chart. This was never predicted. Nobody out there predicted this. Nobody was like, oh, yes, it's going to drop, 40, 50% in one day. It's going to happen. There's people out there who predicted that Bitcoin was going to pull back to the $7,000 area, but nobody predicted 4,000. But so I'm going to say, right here, right now that I believe that this whole thing was manipulated and it was all just a part of one big ulterior motive, one big deal for somebody out there to make a lot of money because they didn't want to buy Bitcoin when it was $10,000. They wanted to buy it when it was $4,000. But let's not talk about conspiracy theories. Let's talk about the chart. That's what we're here to do. We're investing based on what the chart says. So if you look here on Bitcoin, this is the Bitcoin chart, the daily. Let's go like a weekly. It's probably easier to read it here. We can go to the weekly here. Now, if you look at Bitcoin, where are we at? We're at a key area. That $4,000 to $3,000 area is a key area. Why? Because it's touched that area twice. Back in 2017, you can't see it, but behind my head there, it touched this area right here. 2017, it pulled all the way down there to the $3,000 area. It bounced, and from there, it went to an all-time high. Wow. Okay. Great. Perfect. Now, the second time that it pulled back, guess where it pulled back to? It pulled back to the $3,000 area. Again, right there. Let's draw a line across here so everybody out there who is not good at understanding what's going on here can understand, because it's looking pretty darn simple here, people. It's looking, I got to find, what's the thing here? What is the thing? Give me a box. I want a box. Boxes. Where's the boxes? Boxes. Give me a box. Trading view. Rectangle. Perfect. Let's go right through here. We're going to highlight this area. I don't know why it's red. It should be green because that's where we're buying at. We're not selling there. All right. Either way, you can see what we're looking at. We've got this area, $3,000, $4,000 area. We touched here. We went to the moon. We touched here. We basically went to the moon. We went from 3,000 to 14,000. That's pretty much the moon at that point. So should we expect a bounce from here as well? Well, yeah, we should. We should definitely expect a bounce from here. So anybody out there who thought that, oh, I'm not going to buy a Bitcoin at 3,000. I'm definitely not going to do that. No way. No way in hell. I'm not going to buy it when it's 4,000. No way in hell. Well, clearly you're not looking at the chart. You're just sitting here looking at the idea that Bitcoin's going down, but you're not looking at what's really going on. And I'll be honest, I have been kind of playing with Bitcoin here in this area, thinking that we might get a breakout to the upside. We didn't get it. I got stopped out. It was totally fine. I made some profit. I ended up buying at 8,400, selling most of it a little bit above 9 and stuff like that. So I made some money trading it, but last night I was like, screw it. I'm going all in. Not that I'm all in, but I'm buying a serious amount. I think I bought about $5,000 worth so far, and right now I'll kind of talk about some of my entries that I got. I was just doing through Coinbase because I haven't really had a ton of money in my Coinbase Pro account for a while because I haven't really been trading there. But some of my buys last night, trying to look at my orders here. I got a bunch of Litecoin. I bought Litecoin when the price hit $27. So Litecoin hit $27 last night. Currently, the price of Litecoin is $36. So it's up almost $10. It had a high so far today of $41. I'm looking for a move. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this thing's going to go back to $1 million or $100,000 or $20,000. Let's be realistic here. I'm just looking for a move kind of back to the norm. If we get a move back to $8,000 to $9,000 here in the future, that's a beautiful 100% return right there. That's a beautiful 100% return. And honestly, I'm at the point now where I'm thinking that I'm just going to hold. I'm going to put whatever cryptocurrency I got, I'm just going to put it away in a little vault somewhere. I'm going to hide it, and I'm just not going to think about it. I think that's a really good way to do this, actually. That actually might be what I'm going to do. I'm just going to hide it away, and I'm going to look back at this in like 2 years from now. Obviously, I'm going to keep an eye on it. But in general, I'm not going to trade this. I'm not going to trade Bitcoin. The Bitcoin, the Litecoin, everything that I bought the last day or so, the last 24 hours, I'm just going to hold this stuff because there's a possibility that this does, break out to the upside at some point here. This does go crazy. Now, I'm not going to tell you that this is going to go crazy. I'm not going to promise you that one day Bitcoin's going to be $1 million. But if we look at the chart here, it makes sense. Look at this overall just triangle we got. And it makes sense that we pulled back down here. It doesn't really make sense just by looking at the chart. But in general, like I said, what people are not focused on is this idea that, look, 4,000, 4,000, 4,000. This is a triple bottom. People have posted about double bottoms. Well, we're looking at a triple bottom. And every single time that Bitcoin has hit this area, guess what? 1, 2, twice. Every time I hit it, it's went back up. Now, obviously, this didn't go to all-time highs, but it still popped. And that's what I'm looking for here. And like I said, I don't really, whatever. If I hold this for a couple years, it goes to the moon, it's going to be the best return ever. Either way, it's a win-win. I'm looking at the chart. I don't care about what people feel about Bitcoin. I don't care if people think that Bitcoin's going to zero. I don't care that people think that Bitcoin's a scam. I'm just purely looking at a chart here, my friends. Litecoin. Let's look at Litecoin real quick. It's pretty much the same as Bitcoin, but we'll just take a look here at the chart. Same idea. Guess what? It's basically the same chart. You don't really need to do this, but we can do it anyway just to look at it. Guess what? We draw this line through here. What do we get? Triple bottom, the $20 area. Guess what we did? We bounced again at that $20 area. Last time we were down here, $30. Where'd it go? To $145. That's a $100 gain on that. That's not bad. It's not bad at all. So, like I said, I'm playing the chart. I don't care about what people on Twitter, what people on social media, what people in the comments are going to write about how I'm an idiot for buying Bitcoin, blah, blah, blah. All I'm doing is I'm trading the chart. If me and you were trading right now, we were trading the stock market, buying a penny stock, things like that, we'd be looking at this chart like, man, there's a chance this could pop. Because here's the thing too, is we're looking at a weekly chart right now. This is a weekly chart. Let's think about this. Let's close our eyes And let's think about this weekly chart. If this was like a 1 minute chart, this was a penny stock, right? We're trading like a highly volatile penny stock. We see people do this all the time. How many traders do you know go on YouTube and they do like this on like a 5 minute time frame? Imagine these being like, 1 minute. Imagine these candles are 1 minute candles, right? And you just draw these lines like that. It looks like a breakout because obviously we can't see the rest of the chart here, but at one point this stuff was worthless. There was no value at all. So we're still in this basically bull flag. As long as we can hold this $3,000, $4,000 area for Bitcoin for $20 for Litecoin, the sky is the limit, my friends. We're looking way too small here, or way too big, or way too small. One of those. We're just looking we're too focused on like this idea that everything's a scam. We're not focused on the idea that, damn, if I zoom out and I look at 100 years, if I look at 100 years here instead of looking at this on a really small time frame, even though we're looking at a daily or weekly chart, this little thing right here that we're seeing, this could easily just be a part of that big, massive move to come. And that's why I'm playing it. I'm looking at the chart. I'm looking for opportunities. Like I said, I don't have any type of preference. If this goes to zero, it goes to zero, whatever. But I'm going to play the chart. The chart is my friend. I've been trading the chart for the last 4 or 3 years or whatever trading. Why would I not trade the chart here? And the funny thing is, what's funny about this is I actually feel more confident buying the dip here in cryptocurrency, like the Bitcoin crypto. I feel more confident investing money in crypto at this point than investing money in the stock market. That's how confident I am with this chart. And especially now, I've got an amazing entry. $26 here on Litecoin. I'm risking $6, for the bottom here at 20. If Litecoin can't hit 20, maybe I'll buy some more. It goes to zero. Who cares? At that point, I'll just have some cool, internet thing. But in general, if this can hold, all bets are off, my friends. All bets are off. It's going to be interesting. I'm interested in seeing what happens here in like 20, 30 years. But in general, the problem is too many people are looking at these charts just like only on this I'm looking at the yearly return. But if you look at Bitcoin, you go back to Bitcoin back when Bitcoin was, worth nothing. Look at the difference, it's like you go all the way back to here. Like I can't even get to that point because it's so far back there. But if I really go back here, I'm going back to like $100. Look at this. All right. I'm looking at Bitcoin here. Well, let's pretend like this is the Bitcoin chart. Well, this is the Bitcoin chart, but let's pretend this is 2020, right? We get this big move. It pulls back, crashes. Bitcoin crashed from 250 here down to 70. At that point, everyone's looking at this like, man, look at this. It's going to zero. This chart's going to zero. Everything's pointing to zero at that point, right? Everything's going to zero. I can't get this damn thing. But in general, everyone's looking at it like this. Like, oh, it's going to zero. But look what happens. It goes higher. And this does it multiple times. Bitcoin does this move multiple times. Makes this big move here. Pulls all the way back down. Again. Makes a big move. Pulls back. Makes another big move here. Pulls back. But you can see what's happening here. Look at these moves. How these moves just start getting smaller and smaller on the overall time frame. These moves is getting smaller and smaller. Like this one here. It looks big. That's like a huge move. Back in 2014, if you were a Bitcoin investor, a Litecoin investor, whatever, if you were a Bitcoin investor and you bought here at 124 and it went to 1,000 and it crashes back down to $200, it's like the world is ending, right? The world is ending at that point. But look at this. Really look at this, people. I'm like making this video because I want people to look at this idea here. Look, let's draw a trend here. What does this look like? What does this chart look like right here? If I look at this, I can't ever get these same things to work. But if I look at this idea, like, what does this look like? This looks a lot like 2020. Does it not? Does it not look a lot like the 2020 move? Big move up, crashes back down, finds support, and then starts to move higher. And guess what? As soon as I go from, back in 2014, 2013, when this happened and it crashes back down, it's like, okay, the world's ending, Bitcoin's done, it's going to zero. But look at this. When I go over, it's like that move doesn't even exist anymore. There's not even a move there anymore. It just goes flat. Again, up to 20, pulls back. Another bounce. So what I'm saying here is in 10, 20 years from now, if we look back at this chart, this same move from 200 to 2,000, 200,000, $20,000 from 2,000 to 20,000 is going to seem like this move, right? Here's that big move there. This is a similar move from 200 to 1,000. Very similar move. So what are we seeing here? We're seeing these overall patterns, these big moves, these pullbacks, and again, these big moves that happen just become little moves in the future. So this move from 2,000 to 20,000, it seems really big now, but in the future, we can look back and be like, hey, this is looking like nothing, you know? This is looking like nothing now. Like a blip on the chart. Just a little blip on the chart. So think big here, people. Think big when investing, especially now. I mean, a 40% drop, I mean, there's opportunity. There is always opportunity to make money here. So don't get too caught up in this idea that Bitcoin's going to zero too quick. Zoom out, you know? Don't get too caught up. Don't get too caught up in this whole idea that Bitcoin's going to zero, because there's still an opportunity. If you're still watching this video, don't worry. There's a lot more videos right here on the #1 day trading channel for you to check out and learn more about day trading. So don't be afraid and check out these videos right over here. 1, 2, newest and latest and greatest videos for you to check out. Also, hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already.